coming around to the idea that this is the way forward. There's a whole series of other ambitions that we need to have in terms of ensuring that when there's more, as I fear there will be, faith-based welfare, that what Hazel Blears said, or rather preached, as Newsline explained at the recent Evangelical Alliance speech she gave, but finally got the formula right, which we've been plugging away for ages. No discrimination against employees when fulfilling welfare functions, no discrimination against recipients, and no proselytising while performing a public function with or without public funds. They've got that formula. They won't put it into statute because they knew it would catch schools. So they're going to try and have some voluntary compact, and I fear that won't work. But that is another big step that we have to take. It's not going to be easy because although we're getting, I think, more organised and more effective, and we have to thank our friends in the media in particular for that, some of whom aren't here, but I know Ben Goldacre I see over there is, and it's really important in the internet age to have people who write to be able to, because that's the language that some politicians understand. But the battle is difficult because we're fighting an organised opposition who are very, very well funded, and they're vicious as well, as I know personally. The Daily Mail, I have no more fear of the Daily Mail after what they've done for me. It's a great feeling, because you know, after what they've done to me, I'm just free now of worry. Completely. But it's quite bizarre, their attitude. And I'll finish on this story, that I drew 5th in the private members' ballot, which means I've got a chance of getting a bill somewhere along. And one thing that's always surprised me is that a country like ours singles out, in terms of religious discrimination, Catholics who have a checkered history of persecution in this country for discrimination in respect of who they can marry if that person happens to be in the line of succession to the throne. And I'm not a great royalist, okay? But something's got to fill the papers, I suppose. But I'm not a great royalist. But I do think it's wrong that someone has to convert out of their religion simply to marry into the line of succession. And the basis is that, and it's just Catholics, so apparently Prince Charles, or Prince William, as is probably more likely, could have a civil partnership with a Catholic, okay, or a Muslim, or even an atheist, but can't marry a Catholic. And so I've got an amendment down, a bill down to end that, and also to make sure that men didn't automatically take priority over women in this line of succession. And I thought that this would be welcomed by the Catholic Herald, but I just want to read to you what they said. It's just amazing. So Imran here, who's my researcher, phoned them because I was told by the big Catholic MP, Edward Lee, who I disagree with on almost everything, but he's a polite and pleasant man and we get on personally. He said the thing to do is to get the Herald on board because they're quite influential. So I thought, well, why don't we give them an exclusive and tip them off? So Imran phoned up and said, and I said, just try and get hold of the editor and see if he'll talk to me. Don't tell him what it's about. Is the editor there? I'm calling from Dr. Evan Harris's office. Okay, I'll just see. The phone apparently is wrenched from the secretary's hand, and this editor says, I'll have nothing to do with that revolting man. I find him despicable. I don't care what it's about. I'm not even going to talk to him. Goodbye. Okay? And it's an astonishing attitude for a journalist to take. And I assumed that I would hear nothing more from his paper. But an hour later, a journalist did ring me to say what was it was about. But he blogged this, and he said, this is what he said. He said, Evan Harris, this is in the Telegraph, because he's a leader writer in the Telegraph. Evan Harris, let me tell you where you can shove your attempt to reform the Act of Settlement. Dr. Evan Harris, the Lib Dem MP, nicknamed Dr. Death, sorry Michael, for his creepy determination to make late-term abortions and euthanasia more widely available, now has a new cause. He wants to remove the ban on the heir to the throne marrying a Catholic. I know I speak for many Catholics when I say this man disgusts me. He's wrong about nearly everything, and wrong in a particularly nauseating fashion too. Self-righteous, self-important, and, what does it say? Humorless. I had a phone call from his office yesterday, the news that Dr. Evan Harris wanted to tell me of something, and I said I couldn't imagine anything worse than talking to such an appalling character. So, and I've had a number of emails as well, not all from my friends and family, in the same tone. And I can take it, I guess, because I've always said that given the causes I've chosen to adopt, my constituents, since it re-elects me, and I think Peter Atkins and Richard Dawkins did, there must be full of gay, terminally ill, atheist, fully vaccinated, non-homeopathic asylum seekers who tolerate me and keep me in. And my constituency party is really worried, and I'm rather hoping a few Catholics who want to marry Prince William might vote on this basis. But that's what we're up against. And I just want to thank the NSS in particular, and one final group of people who are my parents who are here today, because you must imagine what it's like. You can only imagine what it's like for a Jewish mother to see what's happened to her son. There's this Yiddish expression, I always explain this, called nachas, which is hard to translate, but it's the pride in one's children that only a parent can have. It's misplaced sometimes. So I always illustrate it by the joke about the Jewish mother running along the beach, shouting, "Help, help, my son the doctor is drowned." Imagine what it must be like for my mother to have her son the doctor translate into her son the politician, into her son the atheist, into her son Dr. Death. So thank you for bearing with us on that. Thank you very much.